Hello everybody, today we're sticking with the harvest theme. We're going to be doing a Creole tomato guacamole. Guacamole was started by the Aztecs. It's actually very old, and they started with that just as a guacamole sauce almost. They kind of mashed it up, added a couple other ingredients, and it's basically the same recipe today, just some people have added lime. Well, the first ingredients we're going to do today, we're going to have some tomatoes, some Hass avocados. They're the best for this. They have a good texture and a good flavor. We have some fresh limes. And we have an Anaheim pepper today instead of a jalapeno because apparently all the stores are out of them right now. Doing red onion. And we have some cilantro. So the first thing we want to do, we want to cut up the tomatoes. So what you want to do, you want to cut the stems off. Basically because the stems are inedible. Now you're going to cut the tomatoes in half, crosswise, and we're going to de-seed them just like we did last time for the bruschetta. You want to take it, squeeze it in your hand, and you're going to shake it out. And basically you have the de-seeded tomato. You can do that for both of these real quick. The reason we're doing this, the guacamole would be extremely soupy if you didn't de-seed them. Alright, now we're going to take the tomatoes, we're going to cut little rounds out of them. Then we're going to cut them into 1/4 inch pieces. We're going to turn it 90 degrees, and we're going to cut perpendicular to the last cut and get little 1/4 inch cubes. We're going to add them to the bowl. Going to do that to the other 3 tomatoes real quick. And you can see since we de-seeded the tomatoes, they're not running. There's no liquid on the board, and it's nowhere near as runny as it would be if you had them. And one good thing about these tomatoes is they are homegrown, they're vine ripened, and this is their normal harvest season. You can get them pretty much anywhere right now in Louisiana, and they are delicious. Alright, so now we have all the tomatoes on the board, right in the bowl. Wipe off our cutting board real quick. Alright, now we're going to move on to the avocados. For an avocado to be ripe, it should be firm and give just a little bit when you push on it, but it should spring back. Now, what you want to do with the avocado, you take your knife and you're going to cut in through the top of the avocado. You're going to go in, you're going to hit a seed. Now you have to rotate the avocado around the knife till you go all the way around and twist it off. One side is going to come off without the seed, the other side is going to have it. Very carefully take your knife, hit it into the seed and twist it out. Now don't go grabbing the seed off the blade this way, you're going to cut yourself. You want to pinch behind it and squeeze your fingers together against the blade and it comes right out. So we're going to do that to both of them real quick. You're going to take the knife, hit it in, twist it, it comes right out. Now using the back side of the knife, the dull side, you're going to chase a grid into the avocado. You can cut it however big you want. And then we're going to take an ordinary spoon, go into the avocado, trace between the flesh and the skin, and it comes straight out. So we're going to do that to the rest of these real quick. Cut a grid, cut in one direction, about a 1/4 inch, almost 3/8 of an inch, little cubes. Take the spoon, go in. And when you're doing this, you want to be careful that you don't hit the stem. There's a little piece, usually right there, I already took them out, but when you use them, The stem likes to come out with the flesh. It's very inedible. Alright. Got one more to go. Here we go. Alright, now we're going to move on to the limes. We're using fresh limes. The limes don't have a cap on them. If you're using lime juice that's already been squeezed and it's in a container, it's not going to have the same taste, not going to have the same flavor at all. The fresh stuff is the only way to go with this recipe, or it's not going to taste the same. You want to take the limes, you want to cut them in half, and you want about 2 tablespoons worth of lime juice in here. You're going to squeeze it in. Alright. And the reason we're putting the lime juice in right now is so the avocados so they don't oxidize. Avocados will oxidize very easy and they'll turn brown and it's very unappetizing. Or looks very unappetizing, I should say. Alright, so now I got 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Now we're moving on to the Anaheim pepper. Anaheim pepper is a lot larger than a jalapeno, but it doesn't have the same amount of heat. It does have a slightly similar flavor. What you want to do, you want to cut the top off, and we're going to cut it in half. Now if you notice, there's white membranes in here and there's seeds attached to that white membrane. The capsaicin is located inside of the, it's produced inside of the membrane and then comes out as an oil and it coats every seed. So you want to wear gloves when you're doing this because if you touch your eyes or any part of your body, any part of your sensitive areas, it will burn. Alright, so do this real quick. And the easiest way to do it is just like I'm doing here. You want to take your fingers, run them along the vein, and get all the seeds out. Now you're going to push the pepper flat against the cutting board, and you're going to julienne it, which is basically an 1/8 inch strip. Then you're going to turn around the other side, and you do the same size cut, but it's about an 1/8 inch cube. This is called a brunoise. And what this does, it gives you a very small cut, and it disperses the flavor a lot better. And we're going to add both halves of this, but I know it's a lot bigger than the jalapeno, but the flavor isn't as strong.